The NFL is such big business, and every day this week, such a big story. Adrian Peterson, one of the league's biggest stars, will not be suiting up today after he turned himself into authorities at the end of the week after being indicted on a felony charge of injury to a child. Then, of course, there is this, the TMZ video that came out earlier in the week showing Ray Rice punching his then fiancée, his now wife. Rice has been suspended indefinitely from playing.
It is a very important issue that the NFL and society at large needs to address.
Talk about domestic violence in the press because of this issue with Ray Rice. It really is a reminder that sports is a reflection of society, a mirror maybe to society. Think broadly about how the press and the sports leagues and individual athletes are treated. Does the media tend to believe the worst about athletes? Is there a fundamental tension or bias there?
I think there is a tendency to over-sensationalize and over-dramatize the negative. We hear all the time about these isolated incidents that are rare, to say the least.
The vast majority of NFL players are guys who take care of their business, they do good charitable works, and then they go home to their families, and they never have an issue with the law or with the league. And the problem is you really only hear about the guys who mess up, which tends to reinforce this perception that the league is filled with troublemakers.
Greg Hardy, in a bench trial, was convicted of assaulting a female. The court is now entirely convinced that he is guilty of assaulting a female.
I'm a biased person here. I'm a big Cowboys fan. Being a sports fan gets trumped by being a father, husband, wanting to do what's right for women. So this is not a good thing. You never, never, never hit a woman. I think this attention on this issue is helping this. We got to deal with it going forward now.
Greg Hardy, in my opinion, should be in jail. Forget about playing in the National Football League. He should be in jail or should have at least spent time in jail already.
I will not, under any circumstance, applaud this deal. Stephen A., it still feels wrong.
Skip is absolutely right when you say, Skip, that we do live in different times, and we understand that. And as a result, things that were once tolerated would no longer be tolerated.
To me, zero tolerance about hitting a woman is not too much. It's not too much to ask for that. If you hit a woman, you're going to be in big trouble, okay? And you're going to have ramifications.
An officer in a white shirt appears to punch her in the face without warning.
You're escalating this by fucking bitch.
She kicked me. Kick me.
Video that shows an SPD officer punching a handcuffed woman in the face.
He punches her, leaving her eye looking like this.
You punched me for no reason.
Well, the officer is on paid administrative leave.
Prosecutors say they have seen the video and that Officer Adley Shepard had every right to use force, so they will not be charging him with a crime.
This surveillance video is blurred for a reason. Ashley Davis is naked from the waist up, sitting on the floor of a holding cell, surrounded by male officers and deputies.
What did I do so wrong to make them want to treat me like this? And, you know, why can't they cover me up or bring a female officer over to calm me down? We were in that cell for I don't know how long, maybe a couple hours.
Her bikini top came off as officers arrested her. She says it stayed off as she was carted through the crowd. It stayed off when she got to jail, and nobody made an effort to cover her up. While in the holding cell, Ashley says one of the officers put his hand over her mouth to stop her from yelling. She says this is the end result. She's suing.
And I just don't want this to happen again. And yes, I am paying for what I did, and I want them to pay for what has happened to me.
Stephanie Kolb, WESH 2 News.
Officers may have been on better behavior had they known they were going to be on camera.
Hey! Police! So now you're this way. Hey! Oh. You don't listen very well.
While she was handcuffed sitting on the floor, the officer struck her head. Keep an eye on the top left corner of your screen. Let the bigotry continue.
I send you back to where the came from. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. We're here on our borrowed time. So mind your business before I shut this whole place down. And I'll take this place, and then whoever owns it will kill you. Because they don't care about you. Okay?
A cell phone camera was rolling on Sunday when a group of people got into some sort of confrontation with police. One of those involved was a pregnant woman who says she needed an emergency C-section after she was tackled by an officer, as seen on that video.
Woman in pink stripes. You hear people in the background screaming that she's pregnant as an officer struggles to get her in handcuffs. That woman started having labor pains while in police custody and later had to have an emergency C-section, and she'll be charged with assault and resisting arrest. Now, according to media reports, the woman was 9 months pregnant, and police say that her arrest process was halted when she started going into labor. We understand that the baby was delivered successfully. Police have not been specific about how the woman allegedly assaulted officers.
Surveillance footage from a security cameras allegedly captured the LAPD arresting Michelle Jordan, who was pulled over for using her cell phone, mind you. The security cameras from a Del Taco parking lot, Tujunga, shows 2 officers slamming a woman twice on the ground. Jordan, who's 34, was allegedly using her cell phone when LAPD proceeded with a routine stop. She pulled into the parking lot at a local restaurant where she got out of the car and confronted the officers. She was booked on resisting arrest and later released. LAPD Chief Charlie Book stated that proper steps were taken.
New allegations tonight regarding this incident caught on cell phone video. The family of the woman seen being hit by a CHP officer has identified her as Marlene Pinnock. Tonight, they accuse the CHP of hiding Pinnock.
The lady got on the bus with her stroller full of pillows, and she was very polite, said hi to everybody, and sat down.
At the next stop, 2 LA County Sheriff's deputies, 1 male and 1 female, boarded the bus and called the passenger by name.
It was very obvious that she was special, had special needs. And after that, they grab her, and she cusses them out, calls them a big shot, Next you know, he gives her a big shot.
Green captured the incident with his cell phone's video camera.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, he seen me taping him, and he looked up at the camera a few times, and he still hit her like that. And I can't believe, I mean, he didn't try to defuse the situation at all.
The officer, Scott Crow, said in his report that he hit Riddell because she bit his finger, but the video shows him lunging at her, hitting her with both hands, making contact first. Riddell says Officer Crow copped an attitude early on when she was on the phone with her baby's father, a man well known to police.
And he's like, oh, he's like, you're associated with him. And I said, yeah. And he said, well, this is about to get really ugly really quick.
Riddell was taken to the hospital, then jail. She says she's lost 60% of her vision from the blow. No criminal charges were ever filed against Officer Crow, though there was some sort of disciplinary action taken. The chief isn't saying exactly what that is, and he remains on the force.
When it was over, a Shreveport woman was lying in a pool of blood at the Shreveport Police Department. Chrissy, this was all caught on videotape.
Well, Jody, at least some of it was, but a lot of this case revolves around what wasn't caught on tape. After Angie Garbarino had a wreck, Shreveport police took her in on suspicion of DWI. As this video shows, she was very argumentative.
You're not going to let me call anybody. You're not going to let me call anybody. No, I need to call somebody.
Well, I know we have some rules we need to follow.
We need some rules, and I have rules too.
Officer Wiley Willis was required to read her rights, but Garbarino was insistent on making a phone call.
You've got to let me call somebody. No, I'm calling you. You can't not let me call anybody. You can't.
Put your hand on the back.
Are you serious? Oh my God, you know.
The rules you got to follow.
At this point, the officer did not take her to jail, and things got worse.
I have a right to call somebody right now and know that. Is this on the record? It's good.
Stop pulling away.
No, don't you touch me again. Don't you touch me again.
Garbarino later got up to leave.
Get away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me! Ow! God, I'm gonna call up there.
Seconds later,
You understand, William?
Yeah, I understand.
the officer stops the tape. It's not known what happened while the tape was off, but when it comes back on, Garbarino is lying on the floor in a pool of blood.
Lie down. Lie down. Don't move.
Another officer comes in to look at Garbarino, then walks out. Garbarino's lawyer says she suffered a broken nose, a severe cut on the forehead, 2 broken teeth, and bruises on her arms and shoulder. Attorney Ron Machota says Garbarino was not driving drunk that night. As to what happened at the police station, he says, quote, the whole situation could have been avoided if the officer had followed procedure.
Okay.
With the milk. Strawberry milk.
Yeah, this okay,
I was
so
smoking a cigarette.
is everything else set? Hey, you can't do that. You can't do that. I am Massachusetts, it's the law. You just smacked my mother in the face. You just smacked my mother in the face. We're calling 911. We're calling we're calling the officer.
Yo, get down.
That's not good. You see that shit?
My baby, yo!
Oh, no. Are you serious?
Sitting there, a lot of us, but what the fuck? Look at this shit! Fucking do it again! Get up! Get up!
decent enough to help.
Yeah. The video, you can see the video before. What happened was she's sitting there talking to the cop, like saying, and clearly he says, come out, make a phone call.
It still feels wrong.
To me, zero tolerance about hitting a woman is not too much. It's not too much to ask for that. If you hit a woman, you're going to be in big trouble, okay? And you're going to have ramifications.